to opt for manual method other than electronic method provided for by the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act. 2. An order of this Honorable Court directing or compelling the respondent to comply with the Electoral Act 22 on electronic transmission of results in the forthcoming general election. In its judgment in Exhibit X1, the Federal High Court held as follows. In view of the foregoing, can the act of the defendant in collecting and transferring election results manually in the forthcoming 2023 general election be said to be contrary to the relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022? The answer can only be in the negative, as there is nowhere in the above cited section where the Commission or any of its agents is mandated to only use an electronic means in collecting or transferring of election results. If any, the Commission is only mandated to collect and transfer election results and number of accredited voters in a way or manner deemed by it. In view of the...
Thank you so much. I'm your body say great. How can it be said that INEC guideline is at INEC discretion? It's not mandatory. They are at liberty to decide whether they will follow the guideline which they have made or not. How can it be said? How can it be said that the 5 justices of the appeal court do not know that INEC guideline constitute a law that must be enforced by the court? When the Electoral Act said you are to produce guidelines, the guidelines derive its authority from the law, and so it's part of the law that must be enforced. Now, if you say INEC can make guidelines and not follow that guideline, you are directly saying Nigerians should not trust INEC.
And IREV, they were here, they demonstrated what to expect. In fact, let's just even refresh our memory. I know we heard it time and again where the chairman of INEC was speaking about what to expect to the international community on this. Just have a listen to this.
To do, and pretty soon, is to conduct mock accreditation exercise nationwide ahead of the election. We won't wait until the main election comes. We'll test the integrity of these machines with real live voters in selected polling units across the country. We did so in Ekitan Osho. It was fantastic. We are going to do so nationwide. And increasingly, you know, our people are becoming even more excited about the deployment of this technology. So we are really happy. And in terms of the numbers of the BVAS machines, we always make provision for additional numbers of machines in case of malfunction or glitches. And there is always a backup. We have what we call the RA technical support that will fix the machines in the unlikely event of any glitches. And where it needs to be fixed is fixed, but where it fails to function completely in a polling unit, and from previous experience there are isolated polling units, the law has a remedy that the Commission should immobilize and conduct the election in the affected polling units within 24 hours.
So that's as clear as daylight.
You see, we have said it earlier. There's a law in place. It compels certain things. It does not compel other things. If those who went to court...
An institution that will make guideline and will not follow the guideline cannot be trusted. And this is not for the health, it's not good for the health of the Nigerian society. This is a threat to democracy. If the stakeholders cannot trust the institution that is conducting the election, then electoral integrity is gone and trust is gone. And when trust is gone, anarchy will rule the day. And it's not for the good of anybody. It cannot move the nation forward. INEC guideline constitutes a law that must be enforced by the court. An INEC guideline is binding on INEC. If an institution like INEC can produce guidelines and the court is saying they are at liberty to decide whether they will follow the guideline or not, or observe certain provisions in the guideline and disregard certain provisions, then it's very, very unfortunate. That cannot move the nation forward. You see, the law is made to move the nation forward. The law is made to bring development. And interpretation of the law should also bring development. The judiciary should consider the spirit of the law. It's unfortunate for you to say INEC is at liberty to do away with, ignore their guideline and revert back to something not known to key stakeholders. Voters comes out to participate, to vote, to exercise their constitutional right on the basis of confidence in the guideline. People participate in the election on the basis of confidence in that guideline. So, if you say established that that guideline is not binding on INEC, then the guideline becomes meaningless. And what we are now saying is that any Dick, Tom, and Harry can do anything to win election. That's just what we are saying. In that case, the coming November 11 election in some states will be threatened because politicians will go all out to do whatever is possible to win election. And if INEC guideline is not binding on INEC, that guideline may not be binding on anybody. Step by step, we are moving. Anarchy will rule the day. It's so unfortunate how Nigeria is moving backward. Nigeria is just moving backward because Nigeria is in the hand of men who do not have the interests of Nigeria at heart. And this is fueling a lot of insecurity. He has turned Nigeria to the poverty capital of the whole world. Yet we are moving about as if nothing is happening. We are not worried. This is so unfortunate that the tribunal will tell us not to trust INEC. That's just the message they are telling us, not to trust INEC. If you say the guideline is not enforceable and it's not binding on INEC, you are telling us not to trust INEC. Because INEC can produce any guideline and on the day of the election, ignore all of them and do whatever they feel like and get away with it. This is a sorry development. And may God save Nigeria. May God save Nigeria. Let there be an intervention. Please, we should share this video and subscribe to this channel. Let people know that the danger inherent in this decision that INEC can just do away with their guideline and do whatever they feel like. So we should not trust INEC. The stakeholders, the key participants should not trust INEC. If you are contesting election, do not trust INEC. Then how can the nation move forward? The confidence in that guideline that INEC will comply to it, and if they fail to, the court will enforce it. That is what makes people to come out and participate. That is what makes people to abide by the rule of law. But if you say no, the law can be made, but it cannot be observed, it means you are saying anarchy should take the day. This is unfortunate. Let the stakeholders, eminent Nigerians, security agencies, rise up to the challenge and say, look, this is not for the health of Nigeria. This is so dangerous. It does not serve our national interest. How can judiciary make pronouncement, then it does not serve the national interest? That we should not trust INEC. Because INEC guideline is not mandatory. It's not binding on INEC. They can make guideline and decide not to follow it. This is unfortunate. Let there be an intervention.
7, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act 2022 makes it mandatory that to vote, the presiding officer shall use a smart card reader or any other technological device that may be prescribed by the Commission for the accreditation of voters to verify, confirm, or authenticate the particulars of the intending voter in the manner prescribed by the Commission. So the use of the beavers is a mandatory provision of the law and is not an option of charity. The Commission does not have a discretion on whether to use the beavers or not. The law says that we shall and must use the beavers, and this Commission is committed to using the beavers because we spend so much time, we spend so much energy, and we spend resources in putting together the beavers. The beavers was developed by the Commission's in-house engineers as a way of making sure that identity theft is minimized as much as possible at our polling units. So we cannot spend time, resources to develop the beavers and then throw it away and say we